And at boxbrownie.com, we do believe that the key to success is having a strong real estate brand. If you have a strong real estate brand that people can trust, it doesn't matter what's going on. They'll know that they can go to you and you'll be able to navigate all of these things coming your way.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Monday. We've got Daniela from Box Brownie. This one's the last session of the year. And so we'd figure, why not roadmap 2024? Daniela, what have you got for us besides the amazing stories that nobody's going to hear during this session, except for Jake and I?
Except
what
for
do you
you,
have?
Jake. Well, today we have a really fun and kind of easy presentation. I wanted to prepare something to kind of get us motivated and going into next year and give us some really key strategies to get started, because I think that sometimes that can be overwhelming, you know, what to do. There's so many elements. And of course, because we are boxbrownie.com, we are going to talk about content creation and about marketing. So it's a fun one, and I hope that you enjoy it. I am going to go ahead and start by introducing myself. For anyone that doesn't know me, you may have seen me at other trainings and other webinars. My name is Daniela Ciade, but you can call me Danny. I'm business development manager here at boxbrownie.com. And I'm wondering if the chats are open. And if they're open, I want everyone to say hi and introduce themselves and let me know where you guys are tuning in from. And I'm just going to give a quick overview of who boxbrownie.com is for anyone that's not familiar. But we are essentially a photo editing service specializing in property marketing. So we have a team of editors working around the clock to help you create beautiful content and beautiful imagery to market your listings and yourself and your brand. So we're all about content creation and property. And we have some people saying hi from San Diego. I was there a few weeks ago. It's great. Salt Lake City, Reno, Ventura, California. Thank you everyone for being here. This is so exciting. The last one of the year. So today, Tristan, we are going to embark on a trip together, on a little road trip together, and we're going to go over a few things. We're going to start by talking about 2023 and just going over some of the challenges that we were presented with, but how we can stay strong among those challenges and how we can navigate that. So of course, we're going to talk about marketing because that's what it's all about nowadays, right? So we're going to learn some definitions and some concepts that are going to help us create that roadmap into 2024. Then I'm going to put those into practice because I love putting all the concepts and the stuff that I give you into practical scenarios. So we're going to put that into practice and we're going to define 4 things that we need to start doing right now in 2023 to get ready to 2024. And then make sure that you stick to the end because we do have some gifts and some little surprises on your way. So make sure that you stick all the way to the end. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started and talk about 2023. I don't know if this happened to you, Tristan, but I, with boxbrownie.com, I have the privilege of traveling all around the country. I go to different events. So I talk to a lot of real estate agents, and I kept hearing this year how it was such a challenging year, whether it was great or whether it wasn't so great, because some people weren't doing so great. It was definitely difficult. And we kept hearing stuff like the inventory was slow. And in fact, it was 47% below the historical average since 1999. We also heard that sales were down. In fact, in August, in the whole year, it was 15.3% from a year ago. So that's a pretty big number. Yeah. Consumers were also buying less. 82% of consumers reported putting home buying plans on hold. And this makes sense because we are faced with a very particular economical landscape. And I learned, according to this article, that first-time home buyers hoping to buy a started home will need to earn about $64,000 a year, which is 13% more than it was a year ago. So things are tricky. Things are a little bit difficult, and there are so many things coming away. I don't know if you've heard all of these things, Tristan, when you're talking to people, but I heard it a lot. You know, inflation, high interest rate, low inventory, all these different things. And these are things that we can't really control. There's not that much that we can do about them. But the truth is that people are always going to buy real estate. People are always going to be buying home. It is a business that it's never going away, that it's always going to be there. So the trick to navigating all of these things is to stay strong, right? Is to be able to rise above it. And at boxbrownie.com, we do believe that the key to success is having a strong real estate brand. If you have a strong real estate brand that people can trust, it doesn't matter what's going on. They'll know that they can go to you and you'll be able to navigate all of these things coming your way. So the key to creating a strong real estate brand, of course, is marketing. But you guys are real estate agents, so not necessarily expert marketers. So today we're going to go over some concepts to help us along the way and help us organize and create a plan for 2024. So what is marketing anyway? I'm going to start by defining that. Marketing is the activity or business of promoting and selling products or services. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. We can all understand it. But how do we put it into practice? How do we even start creating a marketing plan? Well, today we're going to talk about the 4 Ps of marketing, which is a very basic, very essential marketing concept. And basically, these 4 Ps are 4 key elements, 4 essential things that every marketing plan needs to have. So we're going to go ahead and define these, and we're going to put them into practice to understand them a little bit. And if anyone has questions, throw them in the chat. If anyone wants to add to what we're saying, please, this is a space so that we can all help each other to create a successful 2024. So go ahead and use that chat. Let's start by talking about the products. So product is defined as the thing that you're selling. You can create a marketing plan if you don't know what you're selling. So this is, what is our product? What makes it different from other products? Is it unique? And if it's unique, how can we convince people that they need it? So all of these things we need to define. When we're talking about real estate, of course, I think that we have 2 very defined products. One is, of course, the physical asset, the transaction that we're trying to handle. So we have a property that we need to market and we need to sell, or that we're trying to get a listing. And then, of course, is your service and your brand and yourself. So you as a real estate agent, you are a product. And the way that you market yourself is going to matter to build your business and to build your brand. So that's why I wanted to define this. Now, Tristan, do you know anything about cars? Are you familiar with cars at all?
Somewhat.
All right, because I'm not familiar at
I
all with
like
cars.
cars. Does that count? I like cars.
Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to use the example of a car, because I feel that whether you like them, whether you know about cars, we all need a car. So we're going to apply all of these concepts into the idea that we're trying to sell a car. So I don't know anything at all about cars. If you put 2 cars in front of me, if you ask me what kind of car it is, I'll say one is black, one is white, because I don't know anything beyond that. But I do know that there are 2 very defined categories of cars. So we have regular everyday cars that, we use every day. And then we have our luxury cars, our expensive cars. So the first thing that we need to do when we're trying to create this marketing plan is define, what kind of brand are we? What kind of property are we trying to sell? What kind of car are we trying to sell? Is it a regular car or is it a luxury car? So let's move on to P number 2, which is price. And this is basically the amount of money that a consumer is willing to pay for a product. And there's 2 things that come into play here. One is obviously the actual cost of the thing that you're trying to sell, of the product or the service that you're trying to sell. But then there's also the perceived cost or the perceived value of that thing. So what a buyer thinks that product or that service is worth.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and put it into practice with our car. When you are trying to sell a regular car, you're going to say it's straight to the point. This is spacious and it's safe. It has good fuel mileage. It's going to take you from point A to point B. Nothing fancy about it. You're going to get what you get for your money. But then when we're talking about luxury cars, the pricing goes in different, because you have all these added features and all these added luxuries that go into the value of the car, right? So you have massaging chairs, heated seats, entertainment systems. You have cars that drive themselves. So it all changes not only the way that you're marketing your item, but also the way that people are perceiving that car. And if they're willing or they're not willing to pay less or more money for it. And it's the same thing when you're talking about a brand or a product. Let's move on to P number 3, which is promotion. And this is basically how we're going to tell people that they need this product, that you got to buy this, that you need this one and not that one. Why it's special, why you should spend your money on it. So this is all about language, and this is all about the imagery that we're using when we're trying to promote our product. So when we're talking about a car, when you see ads for a regular car, you hear words like affordable, you feel words like safe, convenient, practical. And when you're talking about a luxury car, we want to hear cutting edge, exclusive materials, leather imported from Italy. You know, it's a different level, if it's a different language in which you're selling it. Let's move on to the place, which is really important. And I think a lot of people forget about this, but is that the right product needs to be in the right place. Because even if you have a great product, a great marketing plan, you know, you have beautiful images, you have a beautiful copy, description, story, whatever. If that product isn't reaching the target that you want it to reach, no one's going to buy it because you're not appealing to your target audience and to the people that want to actually buy that product. So when we're talking about place, when searching for a luxury car, you should go to probably an exclusive showroom that's dedicated to that particular brand. And there is probably only one or two in your town. When you're dealing with a regular car, you can just go to any dealership, any family dealership that it's around there. So these are the 4 Ps, 4 basic, and we can see how it was applied to a car. Now let's see it come to life. So I have 2 ads, and I want you to tell me what pops at you when you're looking at this ad. Anyone in the chats, if they want to participate, please do as well. What comes at you? What it makes you feel? What impressions you get?
I feel like this is good for the family. That's what I'm thinking. And they want us to focus on the 369 a month, definitely, right? That's a key. So I'm assuming that between the words care, the price, and the small kid, right? That means it's
Yep,
going to be safe and affordable. I kind of like the ad. I
absolutely.
agree with
It's
Lisa.
effective.
Yeah, Lisa says the kid and price, Trisha, affordable and easy, family car, affordable and
Family
easy.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we all immediately recognize all these things, and it's not by chance. It's because this was very well thought out, and this is what we want to communicate, and this is the people that we want to apply to, you know? We put the price right out there so that people know, oh, I could afford this car. There's no background, so this is the only thing you see. There's nothing distracting you. Includes Toyota Care. We make it easy. And then, of course, you have the mom and the son there, which tells you this is a safe car. This is a car that you can trust with your family. You know, no bells and whistle. It's just easy, practical, and affordable. This is what you need for your everyday, right?
Yeah.
Now, let's take a look at a second ad and let me know what you think when you look at this.
All right, all right. Oh, this it's definitely you capture it in an action sequence. So fast, I agree with Kirsten.
Kristen said
Uh
fast,
Fast
luxury.
luxury. I guess I'm looking at the location too, like city. What does it mean? Somebody who's probably on the go, right?
I
Yeah.
love what Jake said. If you have to ask the price, you can't afford it. And that's very true because you see it on the ad. There's no price anywhere. You don't see a price because the person that's probably gonna be interested in purchasing this car, it doesn't really care about the price because they're wanting other things, you know, they are prioritizing other things. One thing that stood out to me when I saw this ad the first time is that you can see the movement in the photo. It's a long exposure, so you can see that the car is speeding. So it immediately says it's fast, it's sleek, you know, it's technology. And I love the tagline, which is define need, because no one really needs a luxury car, but it's pretty cool if you're able to get one, right? So I thought that was an
Yeah.
easy exercise to really understand the importance of imagery and language into what we're putting out there. Chris, it's sexy for sure. Yeah, it's a nice car. All right, so now let's stop talking about cars and let's get back into real estate. Now that we have the theory and the concepts, let's move on and talk about 4 things that you need to start doing right now in 2023 to plan for 2024. So I want everyone to get their notebooks out and get started on writing down and plan to do all these things. And the first thing, it's going to seem a little obvious, but it's update your headshot. And this is so simple, but so effective because your headshot is your presentation card. And you'd be surprised, Tristan, I've seen so many real estate agents that I meet at these events and they're lovely to talk to. And then they hand me a business cards and I see the photo that looks like it was taken 20 years ago. And I couldn't even recognize the person on the business card. So
Yeah.
the way that you're representing to you, if someone is saying, oh my God, my picture is 8 years old. Yep, you gotta update it, Kristen. So put that on your list. The first thing that you need to do. This is a photo of, I don't know if you recognize her, but this is Melissa McCarthy, who is an amazing actress, comedian in Hollywood. She's a star. And the photo on the left is her first set of headshots that she ever did when she started in the business. And she was a young girl. She really wanted to play on the comedy side of it. So she created this ridiculous session. And of course, this doesn't represent Melissa McCarthy as a brand today. Yes, it's funny, it's goofy, and she's all those things, but she's also incredibly successful. She's incredibly talented and professional. So having a headshot that represents her in that way offers so much range that if she would have stuck with that first one. So this is a bit of an extreme example, but this is kind of what we don't want to do. We don't want to get stuck. We want to make sure that we are updating that headshot. Now, I know that some people might say, I don't have the time or I don't have the budget right now to do it. What I don't want you to do is take a selfie or grab that photo that you took at your sister's wedding that you think you look great, which I do. I'm sure you look great, but it's not the professional look that we want to go for. So you're going to take some time this holiday when you're with your family, your friends, whatever. You're going to go out into the sun. You're going to find some really nice natural light. And we talked about this, Tristan, in our last webinar when we were talking about photography. So if you guys want to go check that out, and we gave some really good tips about how to find some good light to take photos. You need your phone, a friend, and some light. And that's it. You're going to take a nice picture of yourself. Bonus points if you have a neutral background like a white wall or maybe some trees to make it nice. And you're going to update that headshot that you're presenting for everyone. And if you want to make it look even better, of course, you have to send it to boxbrownie.com for portrait retouching. A lot of people don't know this, but we don't only just do real estate photos. We also do all kinds of things for your brand, including portrait retouching. So you can send us your photo and we'll make you look fabulous and edit it and make you look great. So first things, let's update those headshots. Make sure you edit them so they look amazing and you will be off to a great start. Then we're going to talk about building a strong portfolio, which I think a lot of people don't think about this, but your portfolio or the images that you are able to offer, the services that you're able to offer are what are going to differentiate you from everyone else, right? So you want to make sure that your portfolio is strong and you're giving option to your potential clients so that they say, this is the person that I want to work with. You know, this is the person that I want to get my listing or do that transaction with. So we are going to start with the most essential thing that you can have, which is offering professionally edited photos. And I do say edited, and I don't necessarily mean professional photography, because nowadays, yes, standard practice, gold practice is hire a photographer. That should be what everyone is aspiring to do. But the reality is that a lot of people are looking for alternatives on how to do photographs themselves because of time, because of budget, whatever reason. No matter what you do, the important part is that you edit your photos, because when you take photos, it doesn't really capture the colors or the textures or everything perfectly. So that's where editing comes in. So dark photos, cloudy days, there's no need to have that in your portfolio because you send it for boxbrownie.com for image enhancement and you can get a beautiful eye-catching photos. We know that that's the number thing that buyers are looking for. So the second thing that we are going to be adding into our portfolio that we need to have in our imagery and in our website and our Instagram, our listing presentations, all of it, is offering eye-catching hero shots. So 90% of the information processed by the brain is visual. People process in a visual way. So if you have something that's going to make you stand out, that people are going to see and immediately click on it, that's going to get you ahead of the competition. Easy way to do this is using a data dust conversion. Dust photography is extremely popular. It's beautiful, but it is a little bit expensive and it is a little bit tricky to get right. It doesn't always come out right. You have to be a really good photographer to get it to look beautiful. So we can simply do a data dust, which is only $4, gets back to you in less than 24 hours, and you'll get a gorgeous eye-catching image. This is one of my favorite edits that we do at boxbrownie.com. So make sure that you're using it. I think this is a great way. Imagine having your Instagram feed with all data dust, you know, every listing that you do. So it's a great way to elevate your brand. Now, having cost-effective solutions, and I want to talk about virtual staging when we're talking about this, because I ran into a lot of agents that tell me, I'm not sure about virtual staging. You know, I like the traditional staging. And I always tell them, yes, of course, that's perfect. We are not saying don't do traditional staging, But the truth is that it's not going to be available for you every time. The average cost of staging is around $600. It also is time consuming and it involves moving furniture around. You might not have time for that. So why not offer different options and more accessible options? Virtual staging with boxbrownie.com is only $24. We talk about it all the time. It's probably our most popular service that everyone does and everyone loves. You have 7 different styles that you can choose from, so you can really experiment. We have unlimited rework, so if you get it back and you don't really like the artwork, or you want to try something different, we can go ahead and do that free of charge. So if you're able to offer both things, or if you're able to offer multiple solutions to this problem, then you're gonna stand out even more. So give it a try. Virtual staging is an amazing tool to have in your marketing toolkit. And then last but not least, I'm going to talk about floor plans, which I talk about a lot with people because we believe that everyone should include a floor plan in their listing. Every single one should have a floor plan. Most people, so there's a report by the NAR that says that the first thing that buyers are looking for are professional images. Second thing is property descriptions, where we'll talk about that in a minute. And then the third thing that they want to see are floor plans. So people need to start including floor plans because that's what buyers want to see. That's why a potential buyer wants to appreciate, the whole layout of the property, where everything is located, where the dimensions of the room. So including a floor plan, it's easy. All you have to do is send us a basic sketch of the property. We have different styles that you can choose from, so they adjust to your different budgets. And yeah, so start doing floor plans and include them in your listings. And that is it for the section. Let me see in the chat. I think there's a question. Oh, I can see here Tristan replying to Kristen. Yes, take a picture with your phone and send it to us and we'll edit it. Perfect. All right, so we're going to talk about trends, which I think it's a little overwhelming for a lot of people because there's so many things happening and social media, it's such a phenomenon right now. You have TikTok, Instagram, so many things to do. So I rounded up the trends that I've been hearing about the most this year, going to all the different events and the ones that I think are really going to stick in the industry and are going to become essential in the next few years. So of course, the first one that I needed to bring up is artificial intelligence, because who hasn't heard about AI this year? It's taken the world by storm, and there's so many possibilities on how to use it, from, automated calls. There's so many possibilities, but of course, boxmoney.com is all about content. So I do believe that one of the main ways in which we can take advantage of it, especially for marketing, is using generative AI, which is basically the kind of AI that helps you create new content like text, images, music, audio, videos. There are so many possibilities out there. So of course, I have to talk about what Box Brownie can do for you in this space, which is AI copywriting. And I wanted to bring out AI copywriting because I've already mentioned that it's number 2 in the things that people want to do. They want to see beautiful property descriptions. They want to be sold on that property through text. And I found this really cool, kind of a fun fact, but this really cool website called significantobjects.com. Basically, 2 guys, they had this idea that they were sure that they could buy a bunch of junk and they could sell it for 2, 3, 4 times its value if they attach a story to it. So they went out to a bunch of different garage sales, they went to thrift stores, and they bought $128 worth of just junk. And I'm telling, like a whisk, a cracked mug, like stuff that you wouldn't even think twice about. And then what they did is that they got a writer for each of those items, so a different writer for each item, to create a story and a beautiful text for that image and for that item, and posted it on eBay. And they ended up selling everything for over $3,000, which is a really cool return on investment. And it just goes to show how important storytelling is nowadays. So when it comes to copywriting and property descriptions, what we don't want to do is just post a bunch of facts and just say it has 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, because it's not enough. People want to connect to that space and they want to know and understand the lifestyle that they could have with a property. So that's what you want your copywriting to be about. The truth is that, again, you as real estate agents have so many things to juggle, so many things to do, that sitting down and writing a property description might not be on your list of priority. So why not take advantage of technology and use AI copywriting? Boxmoney.com has a free AI copywriting feature where you just go, it asks for a few details. You can plug them into the system. It has some drop-down menu, so it's super quick. And then in under a minute, you get a beautiful copy that you can just review, make sure that it's your, your style, that you correct any information, and then you can post it. And it makes your life so much easier and your brand all that more powerful. So AI copywriting, definitely want to try out if you want to get started with AI and are not sure where. AI copywriting is the way to go. Next is 360 virtual tours. I don't know about you, Tristan, but this year I've heard so much about 360 virtual tours, and I have so many people asking me about it, more than any of the other years that I've been working with boxbrownie.com. And I do believe that virtual tours are going to become as important, if not more, than images on a listing. And this is because when we think about a potential home buyer, after COVID, we all learned that we can do pretty much anything from the comfort of our homes. And most people have a 9-to-5 jobs, families to take care of. So we not necessarily have the time to go and watch a property, go tour a property in person. So being able to offer that person, hey, you can just look at this 360 virtual tour, see if it's a match for you, and then we'll go in person. It's going to give you an incredible leg up. In fact, around 87% more people view listings with the 360 virtual tour than without one. So they're becoming more and more essential. And I think there's a little bit of a stigma of, oh, it's hard to get, it's expensive, when it's really not. It is an investment. The way that we do it at boxbrownie.com is that you have to send us the 360 images and we can put it together into a beautiful tour. So I have this screen recording of the one that we have on our website. So if you want to go check it out, you can do that. It's right there on the website on the 360. You can see it's fully interactive. You can just drag around with your mouse, and then you have the hotspots. And with the hotspots, you move from room to room. You can see all the details. Those hotspots are also customizable, so you can change the color and the icon to your liking. And it makes it really easy to move. You don't have to be dragging around too much. And then, of course, we can include a floor plan, which I think is fantastic because you got like double the power. You can see the whole layout, that aerial view of the property, and then walk through it. But then my favorite feature of our 360 tours is that we can actually stage 360 images, and you can show the property empty, like you're about to see. So people can walk through the blank canvas, but then you can go, hey, imagine it if it was furnished, and you can show it with furniture. You can show it in different styles. So maybe you want to have a more modern option, a more traditional option. So it's a great way to really show some variety and apply to all different kinds of tastes. And they're beautiful. They're so impressive. So 360 tours is something that you should probably be looking into it if you haven't already, because it's becoming a major play. If you're interested in learning more about it, just let us know. You can put there in the chat and we'll send you some information. And of course, boxbrownie.com has a blog that you can check out with some information. And then the last trend that I want to point out is video, because with the landscape of how we sell real estate changing, video is becoming more and more important because we have social media and we have TikTok and we have Instagram and we have YouTube and we have so many possibilities. Real estate listings that have video receive 403% more inquiries than listings without video. I thought that was really interesting. And I also learned there's an report as well that says that the majority of agents are actually getting their leads from Instagram. I think we talked about this on our last webinar, I want to say. So yeah, now more than ever, your social media presence is so important, and video is becoming more important. You have Instagram that used to be a fully photography-based app, and now it's basically all reels. So I always want to say, we don't do video editing at boxbrownie.com, but we want you to stay on top of it. So this is something that we needed to include. Don't be afraid to take videos of yourself, walkthroughs of the property, and use that to use reels, to make TikToks, or whatever you feel comfortable with. But don't be afraid of the camera. It can be you talking to it. It can be just you recording the property. But start doing some videos, maybe add it to your to-do. And then, of course, my pro tip when you want to tackle the trends that are coming your way is choose one challenge, choose one of them and stick to it. You don't have to do everything all at once. You can do one and become really great at it. So let's say that for 2024, you say that your challenge for the year is going to be, I want to make a video for all of my listings, or maybe you want to have beautiful copywriting for all of your listings. So choose one, stick to it, and you'll see that by the end of the year, it's going to become so easy for you, and you won't be so afraid of doing everything else and trying new things. So that's it for trends. And now let's get to number 4, which is pretty much almost the end of the road. And for this part, I want you to plan for this, plan for success. So get ready for 2024. I want you to, during the holidays, grab a glass of wine or a beer or a hot chocolate, whatever you want, sit down and start writing all of this down. So we're going to start by the where. You're going to choose the where, which I really wanted to focus on social media because, again, it's becoming so important. A lot of people don't know how to navigate it. So just choose 2 or 3. You don't need to choose everything. You don't need to be doing TikToks and Twitters and YouTube and Instagram and all of it. You can choose just 2 or 3, stick to those, and make sure that you feel comfortable with those platforms. You'll see that it becomes easier. So first, start with the where. A good tip for this is, for example, the generation that's buying the most homes nowadays are millennials.
Mhm.
And millennials, the most social media that they use is Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So maybe you want to focus on those 3, right? Instead of doing TikTok or doing LinkedIn because it's not the target audience that you have. Now, I'm not saying go ahead and do that. I'm just giving you an idea of how you can get started on this. So first, start with your where. And then we're going to talk about what kind of content you're putting out there. You got to write this down. What are the things that you're going to be talking about? What's going to make you stand out from everyone else? Are you going to talk about you're an expert in your neighborhood and you love coffee shops, or maybe you love movies and you want to talk about that so that people can relate to that? And you're going to define that and you're going to write it down and you're going to start planning content for that. So you're going to take photos, you're going to start writing the captions, and you're going to create a little folder and a little library of content to be ready. And that brings me to the when. And the when is basically plan in advance what you're going to post and when you're going to post it. So put on your calendar which are the days and the times that you're going to post. And this is so that you turn this into an automation, because I don't want social media and I don't want marketing to be a headache for you and something that you have to spend too much time in. If you plan it in advance, it becomes an automation. So, every Wednesday I post about the movie that I saw on the weekend and I give my opinions on that, or I post about the restaurant in my neighborhood that I sell at, that I want to, make people know about. And then you already have that content ready. All you have to do is post it and then you're done. You don't have to spend 20 minutes of your day trying to figure out what to do. So when is the last step that you're gonna follow, and you're gonna put that in your calendar and you'll see it becomes so easy. And that is it, Tristan. We've made it to the end of the road. We've learned, we've created our roadmap. So now we're gonna talk about the little gifts that we have prepared for you. So
Okay. I like it.
anyone who signs up through this QR code, the link on the screen, will get $20 for free credit to get started in boxbrownie.com. And of course, 3 image enhancements and 1 day to dust, which is our offer. So make sure to scan that code. I'm going to put it back at the end so that you guys take a look. But one lucky winner, one person who registered into this webinar, and I'm very excited about this, is going to get our listing photo power package giveaway, which is basically a package valued at up to $250. And what happens is that you are going to send us your property photos. It can be an active listing. It can be a new listing that's coming up, whatever it works for you. We're going to have a chat. We're going to review your images, and we're going to create a beautiful content plan for that listing. And we're going to bring it to life. We're actually going to do those edits for completely free. So this is a great opportunity to try some new services. If you've never done, for example, virtual staging or a floor plan, this might be the greatest chance, and to start building that portfolio. So yeah, one person is going to receive this. We'll send out that email to whoever gets picked. And I can't wait to work with this person to bring this to life. And that's it for me. Thank you so much. So on the screen, you have the QR code. Make sure to scan that and sign up so that you take advantage of all these prices. And if you need anything, if you have questions, if you have a project you want to talk about, if you want to learn how to take your photo and your headshot, feel free to book some time with me. My email is right there on the screen, and I'm happy to help. And that's it, Tristan.
Yeah, you know what? I love this one. Daniela, can you go back to the really fast car one that you
Yeah,
had?
of course. Let's go back.
Because I want to talk to you about those two.
There we
Okay,
are.
yeah, perfect. Here's what I was thinking. There was a short video where Steve Jobs was reintroducing himself to his Apple people, where they came in with the whole branding idea of think differently,
Mhm.
and he was selling that. And when you look at this, they're not selling the car, they're not selling the hardware, they're selling the feeling. And if you go back to the other one, again, to the little one, yeah, there you go. They're
Mhm.
selling a feeling. And what's the
Yep.
feeling I get when I watch this? So when you're looking at ads that attract you, this is why I loved this, Daniela. Great job. When you're looking at ads that attract you, think of what are you feeling? Why is it attracting you? And then think, how can I now have people feel a certain way when they look at my marketing? And I
Yes.
think that that was the whole piece of what I was taking away. I took notes on this one. This was great, Daniela. So that's what I kept on thinking. I was like, what do I want people to feel when they encounter my brand?
Yeah, exactly. It's all about your brand and what you're trying to put out there. And that's what's going to make you stand out. And I think it comes down also to selling a lifestyle, and selling yourself as a lifestyle. And when it comes to real estate, it's such a huge transaction and it's so intimidating that you want to make sure that the person that you're working with, you can trust them and you can relate to them. And it's not all about, that transaction of, oh, they're a real estate agent. It's about why do I connect to this people? Why do I go to them rather than to the next one? And that's all about the marketing and the way that you sell it yourself. When we talk about video, I wish I had it on the presentation, but there's a little TikTok that I came across the other day, and it was a real estate
Mhm.
agent that was doing a showing for a house, and he was recording it. And it was a house. I don't know where it was, but it was really snowy, a beautiful winter. So he was like, look, you can see the mountains. And it was a simple, just him doing that. And then he mentions that there's an anti-slip paint on the floor. And then he goes and
Mhm.
slips down the stairs and just falls
Oh,
and rolls down the stairs.
I saw that too. That was funny.
And it was so, oh yeah, Jake said that she sent you. Yeah. And it was so funny. And I kept thinking, first of all, like, it's so great that they put themselves out there and they just did this video and commented it. And even though it wasn't a perfect video, it's kind of a showing gone wrong, but it shows the sense of humor of this agent. And it shows that, there's someone that you can laugh with. So that's something that you shouldn't be afraid to put out there. But yeah.
That's very true. I like that. Well, this was awesome, Daniela. Thank you so much for doing this. And everyone, thanks for watching. And Jake, thanks for sending me that video that Daniela was talking about because that was hilarious.
Thank you, Kristen. I see that Kristen signed up. Thank you, Kristen. I'll see you around.
Thanks, everyone. Have an awesome day. Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Daniela.
Thank you, Tristan. Bye. Bye, Jake.